Connor Ward. Hi, this is Connor Ward, and this is
Harrison Marshall.
And this is our dual parallel slalom snowboarding project. Let's get started.
Okay, starting off with the rules of the game. So in the Olympics, you'll have contestants or athletes trying to qualify for rounds by going down two different tracks. There's a blue track or a red track and a red track. They'll go around each of the flags, and as they do this, they'll combine both of their racing times to see if they can qualify. The top 16 will move to the qualifying rounds and otherwise the elimination rounds. Once this happens, the contestants will start going against each other in two different rounds. The first round, the higher ranking contestant gets to choose which track he wants to go down. As they do this first track, whoever wins gets to start the second round by the amount of time they won during the first round. Whoever wins the second round gets to move on to the next round against the other person.
Perfect. History of the sport. We kind of had to steal from skiing, slalom skiing, because we both kind of agreed that snowboarding just stole the idea from skiing. So slalom skiing, the first track started in 1935. It was the first track that just wasn't a straight down. They actually had to turn it around because a lot of the snow had started to melt. Slalom skiing made it into the Olympics in 1952. And then we started changing the rules to allow for people to race at the same time, adding the two racers at the same time. And then when snowboarding got introduced to the Olympics in 1998, it just adapted to very similar rules as dual slalom skiing. And that's how it made its way in 1998. And it's not very popular in America, probably because, one, we're not that good at it. And something interesting is 2014 gold medalist Vic Wild competed for Russia, even though he's from American descent. And it's super funny, that link on there, if I cancel out of this is worth it. If you go and click on Vic Wild's name, this is really funny. It says he won the gold for Russia, but when you click on his name, it shows that he's American. So it's kind of interesting how that works out. Anyways, back to the presentation.
Okay.
Oh, that's wrong order. No. Oh, that's
It
wrong.
skipped over.
Sorry, 1 second. There we go.
Okay, so for our first concept, we thought of conservation of energy, and this is just a visualization from the winner, Galmarini, and his weights, and how we wanted to relate it to how at the beginning of a race, of course, the athlete's at the top of the hill with lots of potential energy, and they are soon beginning to transfer it into kinetic energy. Now, if they didn't carve or just went straight down, they'd obviously get up to incredible speeds of like 500 miles per hour. So they have to learn to make sure to carve around turns, to slow themselves down with friction so that they can get to the highest speed that they can, yet keep control as they're going down. And that's
concept number 2. This is actually very interesting that I did not know about slalom snowboarding. Is their boots aren't like your everyday standard snowboard bindings. They're more designed like ski boots. I have an up close picture right here of the boot, and you can kind of tell it is designed more like a ski boot, where it's a lot more hard, has a lot less give. And the way this applies to acceleration is these snowboard athletes are going to be producing some kind of force one way or another to make the board turn, carve, whatever. But because these boots are harder and have less give, they're able to accelerate faster because they do it in a quicker amount of time. This isn't very important. This is just the muscles that are getting done. It is very interesting They did an EMG study on alpine snowboarding, which is exactly what we're looking at. And it's just interesting to see what muscles are contracting and doing work while they're competing in this race.
For the third concept, we took the idea of center of mass, how in class we learned that naturally or average, we have our center of mass at 57% of our height, which is making us a little bit more top heavy. So for the snowboarders going down, as they go around curves and around turns, they want to keep their center of mass very low. And we saw that sometimes it could be just above 20 centimeters above the ground. Connor here was able to get a hold of Aaron Muss, and he was able to say that he does a lot of stability core workouts every day to improve his balance. And the reason for this is when you're doing these turns, you're going to have an incredibly strong core to make sure that your body can still stay low at that center of mass and keep that high speed while not falling over.
And just maintaining balance, really. And it's interesting. He really does do it every day. Like when, with snow on the ground or not, he said all year round he is doing core and stability exercises to help him just maintain balance. Setbacks or difficulties experienced by athletes this year. We had difficult finding a whole lot. There was a few racers that got disqualified for either crashing into other racers or false starting. But the funniest, the same guy, Aaron Muss, he sent me an interesting thing. He just talked about how it's always interesting traveling to a different place and competing in different climates, around different people. Like he kind of explained it as like he's used the term an away game. It's like just a really big away game. And then this is worth watching really fast. Oh, 1 second. This is hilarious. So we're going to take the time to pull this up and watch it. This year, one of the funniest setbacks was squirrels. Oh my gosh.
Still kept us cool though.
Anyways, just for a little bit of humor, that is funny. That girl actually ended up winning the race, so it wasn't so much a setback. But anyways, here's the winner. Here's the winners of this year. This is Galmarini. He's from Switzerland. Lee Seng-ho from South Korea. And Zan Kosur right here from Slovenia. And that is all. Let's close this up.